Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first podcast for Team YANTSU of this tracking season, where we will give you all the latest YANTSU news. We'll talk about recent occurrences that have happened within YANTSU and many other things that we're coming up with this tracking season. Obviously we're not going to give everything away, but we're going to give you our opinion and what we know so far of what's going to come in this upcoming 2015 show. So today in the podcast we have Jason.
Hello.
What is your name for YANTSU, Jason?
I think I'm tech advisor.
Then we have Patrick. What do you do for YANTSU?
Hello guys, it's Patrick here. I am one of the honorary members. I do a lot of technical help work around the website, and I also work with the social media pages.
Kenny, what do you do?
Hey everybody, it's me. I am cabinet.
And we also have Luke.
Hey guys, and I'm also in the cabinet too.
Well, if you don't already know, I'm Liam, and I'm secretary of YANTSU, I think, if last time I saw. I do a lot of stuff like this podcast, and recently I was participating in creating a trailer for the latest YANTSU trailer. So I just wanted to hear your guys' opinion on the trailer. I thought we did a good job on it. Let's start off with Jason. What did you think of the trailer?
I think the trailer was really good. I think that Team YANTSU is starting to get to that point where not exactly, up with NORAD, but we are starting to get to that field, in my opinion.
Yeah. Where we're starting to get on the right page with them and getting up to date and on par with them. What about Patrick? How do you think that the trailer went down?
I personally think the trailer went down very well. I think it was something new, something unexpected for a lot of the people in the fan community. They don't know that some of our members have some of these great skills now to where we can actually do some of the things that we can do, and animations is one of those new things we've decided to try out this year. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a pain in the butt. But for our viewers, sometimes got to do a lot, but it's definitely going to be worth it come show day.
We definitely wanted this year to expand our content, and that was the main thing we wanted to do. We wanted to actually innovate hugely this year, and I think that's what we're trying to achieve. We did innovate a lot last year, of course, with coming up with the podcast, and the show went absolutely fantastic. But Kenny, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
My thoughts on the trailer, oh god, it was to be expected, but never knew about the new locations. It was pretty much like, whoa.
You were blown away by it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just goes to show how we hope many people will react, many of our fans will react to. What about Luke? Have you seen the trailer yet, and what did you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like how we're evolving our content more to a new standard with the models and animations. So yeah, it was pretty good. So
I'm gonna put my input on this. I do develop the animations, and how I do it is I base it off how the North Pole and how we know the North Pole looks like. It will not look the same as the North Pole that NORAD will show, obviously, because they use different types of models, but it's roughly the same kind of thing. And how these cams will work is on Christmas Eve we'll have a certain amount of cams, I'm not going to tell you what, and it will track the movement of Santa, and we'll have cams just like NORAD but for the North Pole to fill in the content gap that they have, but it will be correlating to their updates that they do from 2 AM Eastern. That's hard for me to say considering I'm in Greenwich Mean Time as it starts. If you guys don't already know, we're doing a 24-hour show, I think, this year. If someone can correct me if that's okay.
As far as we know, it's supposed to be 24 hours, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, it's subject to change, but as far as we know, we're still shooting for the 24-hour mark.
Alright, cool. Do you guys want to say anything else about the animations?
I know it was a pain for you to find all the animations, of course.
Yes. It was a very big pain to get it sorted. It makes you appreciate when you're making these animations how much work and effort that NORAD actually put in to tracking the big red one, and it makes you it just makes you more grateful for what they have. Even if they do recycle cams, that's okay, I guess. But I think judging from I think this is a good way to segue to NORAD's trailer that came out recently for their 60th anniversary, which seems very, very exciting. This is one of those moments where you know they're going to redesign their website and perhaps redevelop their cams, because we saw some never seen before cams in there as well. Especially, we saw the Bing logo, which we don't know whether that's terrible or for the good, and that makes no sense. But anyway, guys, what's your intake on that? Anyone?
Well, my intake of that Bing logo, Bing is not a good search provider. I'm used to Google. It's just not good. But having the use of Cortana and Windows 10 with tracking Santa,
Microsoft Edge.
yeah, that too, it would give it a more innovative look to tracking.
I think that the Bing logo was kind of like, when you saw it, that it was totally just there for the value of, okay, this is our video, we helped design it, Bing is involved with the project. I don't think it was supposed to be there intentionally. I think it was just one of those like little watermarks they kind of put in the corner. Just happened to be there in the trailer, just because they wanted to use that clip, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's like at the start of the trailer when they had the first clip of the satellite, and it was they had a flicker of the AGI watermark, and the thing that got me concerned, I've never really seen the Bing logo on the cams, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I know they only really do the 2D maps, but mainly cesium and AGI work on those cams. Anyway, what do Jason and Luke think of this?
I think that, one, it was a big mistake to get rid of Google. Like
many others, yes.
Yeah, Bing, I guess, is okay, but it's not. I don't think it's as good as Google can be, and we've seen how good that Google can be. So,
Judging from the Bing cam that they had, it looked very similar to the AGI one. It was the same thing, by the looks of them. Which, I have to say, I'm quite disappointed, considering, in my opinion, 2011 was the best year for how the cams actually looked. If you disagree with me, you can say now, but like, I want to hear Luke's point first about the trailer, the 60th anniversary one, and what are you anticipating, and what did you think of that?
Seeing the Bing logo, at first, I really didn't think about anything, but now I think of it, like what Jason said, I think it was a bad decision to get rid of Google. And Bing, I've never really used it, but I've heard some bad complaints about it, so I really don't know what to think. It could be good or bad, so.
We still don't know if they're making the cams yet, it's just pure speculation. Like we want to chuck in some speculation on this podcast show, because this is what it's all about. This is our ideas, and we're just going to fuel them here for you guys to have in your mind. That was poorly explained by me, but anyway, I'm going to carry on. What do you guys expect from NORAD for their upcoming 2015? What do you think we'll find on December 1st, which is one of the most notable days of the tracking season? So I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on it.
Well, first of all, I can see that right now the trailer does have 5,000 views, so that's very promising for it just being uploaded 2 days ago. They're on the right track, and I think that on launch day we should expect more views of the trailer and of the website. So I think they're on a roll. Their views always go up every year, typically. I know there was I think one bad year way back when, but other than that, they just keep getting better and better every year.
One thing to mention, they have changed the what's it called? The YouTube channel that they use to upload videos, which is quite interesting, to be honest, because they've always stuck with the same channel since 2007, and for them to start fresh again, we noticed it because it was connected to the Google Plus account that they have, and it's now certain that they will use that account for everything now. Do you guys think that maybe they're going in a different direction, as we've seen with many other things that could be clues of that?
I was thinking of when they move in the right direction for this year, they're probably going to be like, since Google Plus is kind of being a little bit obsolete, they'll probably be very like different to have a fresh start without Google Plus.
Well, they do still use the same Google Plus. It's just they've changed their YouTube channel to start fresh. But obviously, barely anyone uses Google Plus. It kind of slipped at everyone's radar. Really, it caught us off guard a bit. But we've got eager eyes who are looking out for stuff like that with NORAD. Jason, you said you wanted to say something?
I was going to say that I've noticed a lot of people using Google Plus lately. It might just be where I live, but I've really noticed a big change. A lot of people are leaving Facebook and going over to Google Plus. I don't know why, but I was thinking maybe it might be like MySpace, you know?
Yeah.
People are just starting to
Shifting.
Yeah.
I think that the big main social media platform at the minute, personally, my opinion is Twitter, and Facebook is slowly but surely, clearly, I wouldn't say dying. It's more or less people are going to other social medias as well as Facebook, and this is kind of a topic that is for another day, to be honest, and another kind of podcast. But do you guys think that? Are you excited for the way that NORAD's trying to innovate into for the next year, and maybe we might see a whole fresh batch of Santa Cams, which we've been hoping for the past 3 years since 2012. Do you guys have any opinions on that?
We can only hope right now. We've got a lot of expectations in Team YANTSU, as you have seen in the past, and really all these fresh batch of cams were some slight changes to some really older ones, some better HD modifications, some new skybox backgrounds that made them look a little bit better, a little bit crisper, which everybody likes. And this is nothing new. They've been experimenting with their Santa cams for years.
Oh, I know that YANTSU's, from first hand, that YANTSU's got high expectations. Patrick and Kenny, you'll know. All of you will know how much pressure there is this year to pull off a lot of the new things that we want to come up with, as we're constantly thinking of new ideas for not only this tracking season, for more. We're obviously not going to give everything away that we're going to do in the show right now, because that would be quite stupid. We want to keep some stuff as a surprise, obviously. But if you've noticed, the website's had a complete redesign, but currently it's under maintenance to prepare for the 1st of December, just to let you guys know. Also, you would have noticed it has had a redesign. It's got new graphics on there and stuff, and we've got many new pages, such as Jason's new page, like the kids page. Would you like to talk about that, Jason?
Yes. So the kids page, or the festive page, depending on whatever you want to call it. I can't really say much, but I will say it will bring a more interactive feel to the tracking website, and I think it will give it more of a feel for kids, because the whole reason I started the page was I thought the page seemed a little bit too advanced for kids, and so I brung in the page. Kids have short attention spans, so I thought, well, if I make something that the kids will like, then they will stay, and then they will more than likely go and look at other pages and that.
I think what we tried to strive for this year especially is to drive, because last year the website was more, I would say, kind of complex from a kid's point of view, but we've tried really this year hard to make it appealing for our target audience, which is of course children. Let's bear in mind. and we've tried to have a new look, just like NORAD, to be honest. And I was wondering if Patrick, Kenny, or Luke, do you have any opinions on the new innovations to make it more child friendly?
The best things we can do to make it more child friendly is the best start, and I think Jason did a pretty good job on this. Is we have to add in activities to keep kids busy. We have to find ways to tie our content in to make it interesting for them. And we also have to find ways to get their families involved so that everyone can have an enjoyable experience.
There could be ways of it, like crosswords or trivia or coloring or all the stuff that kids would want to do during the holiday season while they wait for tracking of the big red one.
I think it's pretty cool for children, well, so they can get like festive and they can like draw their attention to like other pages so they can like explore the website and, like Patrick said, get their whole family involved and do activities and stuff.
Very good answers. Do you guys have any topics that you particularly want to talk about in the podcast?
Nick did want me to bring up another page that will be coming during the December 1st update. He said that there will be a new NORAD Track Santa from 2014 page. And basically it will show how the page has changed from the past year. So there'll be pictures, videos, audio, all from last year. And then there'll also be a link that will go to the new page so that you can kind of see, the changes that they've done.
I have actually not heard of that page. Was it the one where he was talking about the NORAD throughout the years or something?
I think.
Have anyone else heard of this? Or Jason, do you want to finish your sentence?
He didn't tell me about it until today. So.
All right, okay. So this is new news to quite a lot of us. We're having another page added, which is old NORAD things, I think. But yeah. Does anyone else want to bring up anything?
Yes, I'd like to talk about the new stuff coming this year for the early morning shows.
Aha, the early morning show. Now, we tried to do this last year, but we did not have enough time to completely prepare it, and we realised after seeing that even when we weren't streaming at that time that there was quite a few viewers actually watching from especially Europe, and we want to bring in the more European viewers and expand our audience by starting the show a lot earlier at 2 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. GMT, and whatever time that is in Pacific, whatever the bloody hell that is. What was good? So basically, how it's gonna work is we're probably gonna have 7 hours of me and my brother streaming, I think, if I'm correct, which is absolutely mental.
6 hours, I think.
6 hours, yeah. And how that will work is it will be like the pre-show and after show. It will be one of those things where it's like it's got its own flavour to it in comparison to the main show. It will segue to the main show when 8 a.m. EST, where we'll have our usual start of show video and all that, and then we'll start rotating through hosts. But for that time and duration before then, that 6 hours is mainly hosted by me and my brother, and we're gonna try and bring as much quality entertainment for your eyes to feast on for those 6 dreaded hours for us, because we all know that during that time where Santa leaves the North Pole and goes over those unforsaken polar bears, those infamous polar bears, should I say, that's going to be a huge content grab. Do you guys have any ideas for what we could do during the dreaded polar bear silence of glitchiness?
Polar bears should not be used.
I think the polar bears should personally just go with the rest of NORAD's old junk. Like they got rid of those glorious old models that they used to have for the North Pole updates, and that's one of the main motivations into why I made those North Pole animations, because I get up at 7 o'clock to see text on a screen. Who wants to watch text on the screen for the next 6 hours or so, and whenever they put up the main tracking map? Who wants to watch that, seriously? So I wanted to fill in that content gap and bring more people in to actually watch that part of NORAD, as it's one of the more quiet parts, and I know many people have been asking for those models to be brought back, and you always came up with the same answer: they're too old. Well, if they're too old, why don't they innovate in them? I think it's because they don't have enough viewers coming in at that time, and that's why they leave it so late to actually put in the actual tracking map, and that's why these polar bear incidents of infamy, which we all hate, occur for 45 minutes of boringness. But I think it'll be a lot like the WLCP like we did last year, and I think this is a good thing to segue to our thoughts on how last year's show went down. So before I put in my input, I'd like to hear what you guys thought of last year's show and how it went down. Just review it.
Well, I think last year's WLCP went off with a hit for YANTSU, not for the actual WLCP itself, because as many of you out there may know, if any of you guys did tune in, you can also post a comment down below saying you were at WLCP, and we'll definitely give you a big thumbs up for that. But the problem with WLCP was, as much as we tried to advertise, the only people we really got to listen were the people over from My Merry Christmas on their forums, and just the occasional person who might have wanted to listen to it. As of right now, I know Nick is going to be doing something different this year with a radio show, which I think it should run a little bit smoother, but and it's a little bit easier for us because we don't have to prepare any videos, which is definitely a big plus for us as well. But WLCP, it's got some promise. I think.
How do you think the annual live tracking show went down last year?
What show was that?
The annual one, Patrick. The main show.
The main show itself. Okay, that show, definite success. Of course, you know how it is on Ustream. It's a hit or miss whether or not how you're gonna do on views. But overall, I think we did a really good job advertising for that and pushing for that last year. That was a big hit. I know I got a lot of comments from people afterwards, and then we wrote some stuff on Facebook. People who said they really enjoyed it, and they keep coming back year after year, which is just wonderful to hear from all these fans who, as families, want to come listen.
Am I correct in saying was it our biggest year on Ustream so far?
It was our biggest year on Ustream so far.
Do you currently have the stats for viewership that we did get during that tracking day?
I did not have the stats on me as of now, but I know Nick said that it was our best year on Ustream.
Oh, okay. So we'll trust Nick as our beloved head of the team. Does anyone else have their review and thoughts on their last tracking season?
The time where people were streaming, they had a little bit of connection issues, but that's common when it comes to wintertime. But other than that, it was very awesome. The streams were all like organized. Some were a little bit jumbled, but they still did the work and had fun doing it. It was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it.
Jason, what was your intake on the annual tracking live show or anything part of the last season that we just had?
I think it went really good. You did great, and like always, doing great. Of course, I have tried streaming. I cannot, just because. Hopefully next year I will. But for the people who have streamed, you guys should get a round of applause because you guys do amazing.
How about Luke? I think you didn't stream either last tracking season, if I'm correct. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I did not watch all the show as I was asleep for probably half of it because of how the time zone works. But how do you think the last tracking season went? Well, I don't think Luke's there, so I'm just going to put in my input, to be honest. The way I thought the Track and Centre show went last year, as Patrick likes to call it the sixth annual Track and Centre live show. I think it went absolutely superbly. Everything that we wished for went right, and all those nail-biting days of preparation and the stressful hours of us preparing for that show all paid off in the end. It really showed how much work you put in actually comes out, and it did feel like a huge success. I think, in my opinion, it was better than Christmas itself. I enjoyed it a lot more than Christmas itself, and that's a big statement that's quite a bold statement to make. And everything ran pretty smoothly apart from the transitioning into the different hosts. But what I can confirm, which was a minor complaint from last season, is we will have less ad breaks than we had, and I think there will be less longer as well. So that will be another innovation that we're going to make for next show. Are you guys developing any ads for the upcoming season? I know I'm probably not going to do one this season, but I will be involved. The topic, Luke, is ads. Are you planning on any ads?
I was developing an ad, but sadly, due to some crazy conflicts last week, that ad is probably not going to happen now, so I do apologize for that. But there are some other wonderful ads from some of our other members that are coming soon, so stay tuned for those.
I'm probably going to do that, I don't know.
I might.
So, Jason here with the pre-show. He's going to inform you on what's going on.
Okay, so the pre-show will be hosted by Kenny. He'll also have help from Liam. They will be doing it on December 23rd from 7 to 9 Eastern Time. Right now, the pre-show will mostly be music, some other stuff. We haven't really gone over exactly what's going to happen. We're still in that planning stage. But we do know that there will be a prize. If you come to the show, you could win a prize. We're not going to say what the prize is yet. That will be announced at a later date. But I will say that the prize is going to be something really cool, and you're not going to want to miss out on the opportunity to win it. If Kenny has anything to say about it.
I'm thinking of, well, for the pre-show, I'm thinking of a lot of surprises for the viewers on the 23rd. They're gonna have a lot of fun with tracking with us. Even though it's only like 2 hours or so of that pre-show, we're gonna do a lot of new things. It's gonna be very, very fun.
Yeah, and the pre-show is basically just to get you ready for the actual show. Of course, Santa would not have, the tracking Santa part would not have started at that point, but we will be talking about some stuff that you can expect in the live show, and we might have some interviews from some of our other members, depending on exactly how everything goes. But I will say again, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be lots of fun, and yeah.
As for the after show, what's going down there, Kenny, is you usually pass out by that time, which is quite notable in recent years.
Yes, I know. I pass out a lot. But I know that Christmas is a time for sleeping too. Especially for the big red one. But
Oh, he'll have a month of sleep.
he'd have a hibernation.
Yes. He probably does.
A whole year of hibernation.
While he has his little jolly elves work on the presents and the
The
preparation.
slaves.
His slaves. Besides, Patrick and Luke, if Luke, you fix your mic, could you just say something if it's fixed or not?
Test.
Hey.
Yes, that works.
I don't know what happened.
Right, give your opinion on everything we've just talked about in the last 15 minutes.
I forget what it was.
Right, first we started off with opinions on the basically last year and the show for this year.
Alright, so my opinion on last year, I mean, I knew all the content that was going to be in it, and I was still entertained, and so I thought it was a pretty good success.
What do you think about the upcoming pre-show and after-show, and of course, the upcoming show for this tracking season?
I think it's good that we're going to 24 hours, especially the pre-show and after-show, because, like, we could have viewers from New Zealand at 2 a.m., which would be about 6 p.m. there, or 8 p.m. there, so it'd be good for them and the after-show for any country, region in the world, so I think it'll be a good show, yeah.
Patrick, do you have any input on the pre-show or after-show?
Well, for the pre-show this year, I think that we should push a little bit more on the advertising for that this year. I know we did have a couple of viewers who did tune in for some of that stuff with Jason last year, but I think we can get some more people to tune in this year. And at the end of the pre-show, we also need to make sure that we talk about letting everyone know the show is starting earlier this year. Because for 6 years, we started at 8 a.m., and for the first time ever, we are starting at 2 a.m. this year. So we need to really make sure the fans know that the night before, on the 23rd, that we're starting at 2 a.m.
And the 2 a.m. start is something you truly do not want to miss, as that is where a lot of our main improvements are, especially these new cams and just many other things and surprises. And obviously the main show will have lots of things and surprises, but the cams will be uploaded on our channel. Does anyone else have any more topics which we can close the show off with?
Well, I can first continue by talking about what my thoughts were on the after show, since I kind of forgot that. So my thoughts on the after show this year, I think we can just continue tracking, and then at the end of the show, because it's such a stressful day, Kenny or whoever wants to host that, or whoever is hosting that, rather, just have some fun with it. Just play some music, really enjoy yourself.
Should I get up
Help
at 4 o'clock
everyone
in the morning and do
help
it?
everyone relax, and that's up to you, Liam.
Should I just be the support member and just go, yo Kenny, what's up? Drink some eggnog.
I like
Just
it.
cheer
You
him
should
on.
do that.
Should I monitor his... I should monitor his progress.
Should monitor.
If he passes out,
Yeah, you should
yeah,
monitor his.
I should kick him off and just go, yo, this is my
No,
show
you should
now.
just monitor his eggnog intake. If it's low, tell him to drink some more. If he's a little hyper, tell him to drink less.
Yeah, I'll be his, let's just say I'll be his doctor, maybe. I don't know what you think about that,
Or a
Kenny.
dietitian.
Yeah, dietitian. I could be your supervisor for your... I'm overcomplicating it now, aren't I?
You're overdoing it, yes. But
Yeah.
it's funny how you guys are thinking about eggnog stuff for me.
Have you had any success in your quest for the glorious eggnog?
Yes. It came on Monday of November.
Was it a life supply of eggnog by any chance?
No. But the supply,
Don't tell me it was one carton. Come on.
I bought myself a 1 liter carton. And my mother last night decided to purchase a 2 liter. So there's still a 2 liter in the fridge in my house. So I'm gonna be having some of that for Christmas.
So that's gonna last you 2 days, yeah?
Oh, it'll last me until at least 2 days, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about anything before we close off the show?
Yes, I think we should go ahead and start making predictions on what we expect to see on the tracking day. What can we see from NORAD? What are we looking at? Are we looking at new Santa cams? Are we looking at more new locations? Are we even going to expect new voiceovers and stuff for these trailers? So I definitely want to talk about that. So Liam, you want to give your opinion on that?
Oh, you're the host now, right? Okay. My opinion on that is I think they will be, because of that being occurrence, I think they will come out with new cams, which excites me because they haven't really been the best for coming up with cams as of recent. We did have a few new ones, which was really, we were like going overdrive in our chat. We were just going absolutely crazy when we saw that those new cams and stuff. And I think they've had a good tactic of drying us out with and recycling old cams so that we appreciate more of the new ones that they come out. I think that's quite a clever idea, yet frustrating. But as far as the website, I think we should expect a website redesign because of the new development of Microsoft Edge and how they've got this contract with Microsoft, and the obvious reason of it being their 60th year. You would have thought they'll do some. I'm thinking that they'll do a retro style, to be honest, of the website, bring it back to a 1950s style kind of thing. So, does anyone else have intake? I know that a lot of us are very enthusiastic into what what NORAD are going to come up with, and I want to hear your guys' opinion.
Look, it's the 60th anniversary. They're going to do something new, whether it's website design or something. They're gonna bring it this year. They really are.
What I'm hoping is they don't put the pandas, or not pandas, the polar bears.
I was going to say polar bears.
The polar bears are very annoying. I'm sure they're going to be doing it again.
And don't replace them with penguins, because everyone knows penguins aren't from the North Pole.
Well, either way,
They're from the South Pole. They're bloody foreign.
it's still annoying hearing about the polar bears with Santa, but it makes it for a very funny comment that I'm not going to say on this podcast.
It's not broadcastable, let's
No.
just say.
Yeah, and I know we've brought this up to Stacy about the whole polar bear situation, and I know she said she was going to be looking into it this year, so we maybe, hopefully, don't have to sit through that long polar bear period again this year. I hope she...
I'm interested to know if there was a time where the polar bears did not exist. Was there that kind of time? I can't remember if we had it back in 2011 or something.
I don't think those were around back then. If they were, it was shorter, and there wasn't this problem there was like last year.
I know in 2011 there wasn't a huge delay or glitch where the map wouldn't show up. They did it. I know I keep on harping on about how good 2011 was, but personally I think that was just a perfect year. And I know it was a perfect year for views as well, but Jason and Luke, whoever wants to go first, what do you think NORAD will come up with in this track and season?
I'll definitely say that if you go on the NORAD website, in the corner to the left it says Internet Explorer, and we know that Microsoft is not using Internet Explorer anymore, and that's using Microsoft Edge. So I definitely believe that there will be a new design because of that.
What about Luke?
Yeah, there probably will be a website redesign, and I'm going to think that NORAD brings a few old Santa cams back, like with a new design, but so we'll have to see.
Does anyone else have anything to say before we make this show a wrap?
I definitely hope that the games are Christmas related this year, because not all of them were Christmas related last year, which I thought was really stupid.
Disappointing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they did do some Sometimes I think they try to improve too much, and obviously any kind of organisation or anything you love adds in parts which they think that you would like, but doesn't go down as well as they thought. And I definitely thought last year the games was a huge disappointment in comparison to previous years, and I really do truly hope they bring it back to festivity themed kind of thing. But if anyone else has anything to input before we wrap up the show.
Yes, I would like to thank our wonderful sponsors over at the My Merry Christmas Network, run by our great friend Jeff Westover. So thank you, Jeff, and the whole community over there at My Merry Christmas Network for all you guys do for us. We definitely could not continue this wonderful project without you guys.
And thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast. Thank you to Jason, Patrick, Kenny, and Luke for attending the podcast. This is our first podcast of the tracking season. Obviously, we're going to be a little bit rusty with the format. We did have a few technical difficulties. Sorry that you had to bear with that for a few seconds. But yeah, we will have a few more podcasts on the way in upcoming weeks. Stay tuned on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for anything that comes out. We will keep you up to date. Anything else from you guys that you want to close off with? And that's a wrap.
Yeah, I would just like to say, if you guys would like to chat with me or talk with me about anything related to Team YANTSU or NORAD Track Santa, you can personally contact me at Gana136 on Twitter.
You can contact me on Twitter as well, at Cancer199. But, yep.
As Patrick and Kenny sneakily shout themselves out on the show, I think that is a wrap. Thank you guys for listening to the first show of the season. See you next time, and goodbye.